Good day. This is meteorologist John DeFleury on the night watch at the Fleetweather Ocean Routing Center in New York. Today is Monday, November 14th at around 8:30 GMT, and welcome to the latest Fleet Weather connection, where today we'll be focusing on tropical weather across the Indian Ocean. Starting with the satellite overview, I just wanted to highlight the three main areas that we'll be focusing on for possible tropical development over the coming days. Starting in the southeastern Bay of Bengal near the Andaman Island chain, we do expect an area of low pressure to develop over the coming days in this vicinity and generally move to the west or west-northwest across the southern Bay of Bengal, where some gradual development could occur later in the week. Next, we have this area of low pressure off the southwestern coast of India. This disturbance is expected to generally move to the west, but model support is certainly decreased for any further development of this system. And any development does seem pretty unlikely at the current time for that disturbance. And lastly, on the southern Indian Ocean, we expect an area of low pressure to develop to the southwest of Sumatra, kind of near Christmas Island. On this area of low pressure would be expected to move generally south or south-southeast, where some slow development could occur over the next few days. Now taking a look at the latest tropical weather outlook from RSMC New Delhi. For the Bay of Bengal system, we can see from New Delhi here the development in the short term of a tropical depression is not too likely, but as we get later into the week, by the 96 to 120 hour mark, there is a low chance for the formation of a depression from RSMC New Delhi. So definitely more likely later in the week. And if we move to the Arabian Sea, we can see very little chance of development overall from that system, with virtually no chance of a tropical depression forming for the next 120 hours. And taking a look at how the ensembles are handling these systems. So beginning at about 12Z on the 15th, the GFS does begin to develop an area of low pressure near the Andaman Islands, and moving a little bit further forward by 0Z on the 16th, the GFS begins to develop an area of low pressure in about the same area. And then as we move further towards the end of the week, both ensembles do move that system generally to the west. But we can see definitely a lot more variability in strength and north-south location from the GFS here than the Euro overall. So definitely something that we're going to have to monitor definitely later in the week for the exact track and strength of this system in the Bay of Bengal. The Arabian Sea system, on the other hand, very little model support overall from either the Euro or the GFS. So that definitely leads to a higher degree of confidence that very little development is expected to occur from that disturbance off Southwest India now. Now moving to the South Indian system, we can see on satellite here a little bit more of a close-up of that system. Very little organization currently with that system now, but it is in a moderately favorable environment for further development. We can see wind shear over much of the system is relatively low, and we also do currently have moderately warm sea surface temperatures in vicinity of the system. But as the system does move south, those sea surface temperatures will steadily decrease, definitely limiting any further development of the system once it gets much further south. And taking a look at that system on the latest run of the GFS here, we can see that by about 15:0Z, the GFS does begin to spin up an area of low pressure to the southwest of Sumatra there. And then it remains generally quasi-stationary through the 17th, where there is some further strengthening overall on this run of the GFS, But then as it begins to move further south into those cooler waters, it definitely begins to weaken a bit more. So if any development is expected, it would definitely be before it heads too much further south. And taking a look at the Australian Bureau of Meteorology and their outlook for the system, they do have a very low probability of development for the system through Thursday. So definitely something to monitor, but if any development, it is expected to generally remain pretty weak. That will conclude today's video on Indian tropics. Please make sure you subscribe to our channel and follow us on LinkedIn to receive all the latest weather and routing news. Once again, this is meteorologist John DeFleury from the Fleetweather Ocean Routing Center. Stay connected and safe.